Another team I think next year going to be there, when it's said and done. Not far as winning the championship, but far as making the college football playoff, maybe even contending the SEC championship. Florida ain't playing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And you say what you want about Millie Napier, you say what you want about this season, but they ended this season sky high, man. Right? Finished out 7-5. They're going to make a bowl game. DJ Lagonza continues to look good, taking the steps forward. They got a young back in Jaden Ball who's really good, a nice receiving core. They are building. And now they land this stud right here. Lagonza Hayward from Toombs County. The team is still playing currently right now, y'all, if y'all didn't know, in the semifinals. They got a game this upcoming Friday. It's going to be one to watch, man. This kid is a stud. Now, I've had the pleasure of getting to interview this kid and get to know him a little bit, man. And he just, same thing I said about Naeem, just no nonsense, put in the work. Comes from a small town in Georgia. Toombs County is not very big. And what I can tell you about Lagonza, he's very loyal, man. Once he considers you family, or once he considers you, a part of his circle, or however you want to say it, the kid stays loyal, man. Like, he could have left potentially if he wanted to out of Toombs County to go build a name for himself, but he said, nah, I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go work. I'm going to go get it out of this mud, right? And if you're a Florida fan, you got to be excited about that, because this kid going to do the same thing. Like, when he gets to Gainesville, he going to be locked in, focused, and he going to make sure that he's supposed to do everything he's supposed to do, whether that's watching film, whether that's asking questions, whether that's going above and beyond in the meeting rooms, in the film rooms. Like, this kid wants to be great. And I think that's what really separates him from the rest, man. So I know Tennessee is kind of, feeling, heartbroken about this one. I know they got a pretty good class, but Florida's doing an outstanding job. We're going to talk more about that here in a second. But, man, I want to give Lagonza Hayward his credit. He was a preseason Mr. Georgia watch list nominee just based off his season. Blew up in recruiting. Got a chance to see him at the Under Armour camp when I talked about in my other video, and was very impressed, man, of what he can do. Hard-hitting safety, can play the box, right? Can play slot. Just one of those multiple guys you can line up all over the field, and he's going to make an impact. Just one of those special players. You look at it like an Anthony Hill. You look at a Kyle Hamilton and what he's doing on the next level in Baltimore. Like, that's kind of his ceiling. That's what he could become. One of those guys you just move all over, and he's going to make plays, you know what I'm saying, no matter who he's guarding. Like, that's how high in his potential is. And he's one of the reasons why I'm taking Toombs County to win it all here in Georgia in the state championship. Lagonza is that dude. Now, in terms of Florida, I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what Coach Billy Napier got going on, but y'all recruiting at a high level. You look at Hilton Stubbs, right? Flipped him from Miami. Another stud out of Jacksonville, out of Mandarin High School. Lord. Yo, all I'm going to tell y'all, roll the first 2 minutes of the tape, and you're going to be impressed. Now, they've had Vernell Brown for a little minute here. That's another elite receiver, 5'11", 170. Probably going to grow a little bit more as far as his body and things like that. Probably be 180, you know what I'm saying, 185. Definitely see him putting on some muscle mass, but the kid is explosive as well. Got a chance to see him at OT7 this past year. Electric. And then, man, the flips, bro. So we talked about Hilton Stubbs. Tavares Dice. Very underrated pick for them. And picking him up, right? I was really impressed, man. I thought he was one of the best linemen when I went to the Under Armour camp here early to start before his senior year, and he was a junior. I loved just how physical he was, how he was blocking some of them stud defensive ends and things like that in the camp. Tavares Dice is that dude, man. He plays for probably one of the better teams here in the state of Georgia at Langston Hughes. Right now in the semifinals, they're going to play. Yeah, Langston Hughes is going to play Coffee this upcoming weekend. That's a team that likes to run the ball, and they're very physical. But this kid's a stud. I've gotten a chance to see him a couple times and go to his practices, man, and see him at Langston Hughes, man. So y'all getting a hard worker, a leader. Like, when I went to the practice in the spring practice with Coach Boone and Langston Hughes, he was leading that offensive line group. Like, it wasn't just him and Dontrell Glover, like, okay, yeah, we know we the dudes. Like, they was actually teaching the other players beneath them. And when I say beneath, I mean, like, that's younger than them, and teaching them what they need to do and holding them to a higher standard. And that's what you need, man. You need guys that's going to hold your teammates to high standards and put in optimal effort and 100% effort all the time. That's Tavares Dice, man. So that was another major flip. I did want to touch on that a little bit as well. Now, Sean Montgomery's another big-time get for them in the program. 6'1", 165, another explosive, dynamic receiver, going to be a great playmaker for the program. So I'm not going to hit on the whole Florida class. I just want to give y'all a synopsis of what's been going on, the latest slips with Florida, and they're doing a marvelous job of recruiting. This is another major get. I know this kid personally and was very impressed with his season. 665 yards, catching 5 touchdowns, defensively getting in there, 32 tackles. I think he has like 10 PBUs, man. The kid is electric. Kid's a stud. So Florida fans, man, y'all get excited. Y'all not playing. I'm telling y'all, Going into next year, man, Florida is my sleeper, bro. I had Auburn. Auburn got to figure out quarterback. I know they got Deuce Knight. We'll figure out what happens with that. But Florida is my sleeper with DJ Lagway coming back. This recruiting class and how they finished out on signing day for Florida says a lot about what they're trying to do and what they're trying to build. And then they still got the portal as well. I think Florida and Swamp Country is going to be ready to go, you know what I'm saying, next year, man. So chomp, chomp. Get excited, Florida fans. Y'all on the rise, and I really believe y'all going to take that next step forward next year. 7-5 this year. I really think y'all could have a 9, maybe 10-win season. Now, it depends on y'all's schedule because y'all are in the SEC, but I do think y'all should be able to be in that college football playoff conversation, barring anything for unforeseen happens. That's my thoughts, man. Y'all let me know. National Signing Day, man. More videos on the way.